Yo, it's SB the Ghost.
What's happening? It's your boy Shani.
It's your girl Rapunzel.
This is Anthony Fleming III. Roll up and check out The Wrong Agenda.
Wrong Agenda Podcast.
The Wrong Agenda Podcast.
The Wrong Agenda Podcast.
This is The Wrong Agenda Podcast.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to The Wrong Agenda Podcast. I'm your host, Dale. Back today, we have Shani, right? I'm saying it right.
You are saying it right.
Shani from Kendo Spice, right? That's what I'm making sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know.
I absolutely will.
Okay. Really wanted to speak to you today. I'm happy we got on. We had some difficulties on my end, but I'm happy we're here now. And we could just start it off with tell us a little bit about your background and what you do while you're here.
Well, so I'm so grateful to be here. So I want to thank you for that. Really, my background is all things food. I've always loved all things food. I mean, I can remember as a little child when everyone else was watching Saturday morning cartoons, I was watching the public television. I'm kind of dating myself because people probably don't know what that is. But I would watch public television and watch like Yan Can Cook, Justin Wilson, Julia Childs, and like that was just my thing. So once upon a time, not long ago, I had a cupcake business where I had a food truck and a cafe. And I've kind of shifted where I am. So it's not really in alignment with who I am today. So I'm like, I really want to be involved in food, but this time I really want to be able to be in a position to help people with their choices. I was in a situation where my mother had dementia, and while it robbed me of all the other things about her appetite was still there. So I would hide different supplements in her food. And, you know, I didn't make anything separate for my dad or my husband, and they didn't notice. So that's kind of really how Kendo Spice was born, because it was my way of getting goodness into them without having to worry about their agreement. And, you know, here we are. Kendo is my dad's nickname. And he got that name because he can do a little bit of everything. So that was kind of, I'm like, this is it. We're going to create legacy that way. One of my favorite blends is Mary Greens, and that's my mother's maiden name. So I love it when people say, I love Mary Greens. And I'm like, me too. You know, that's my mama. So, you know, like Frank's Red Hot, I put that on everything. Yeah, put my mama on everything. So, and how that works.
So that's really interesting. So you've been around the food space for a long time. You just decided to pivot. What was one of the major things that made you decide? I know you said your mother's dementia and you know, trying to get healthier things into it. And to be clear, when you say the supplements, you mean
I mean supplements. So what I've done is I've created blends so that cooks at any level can create a good dish. But the flip side is I'm not just salt and pepper. I've added things like sea moss, bladderwrack, ashwagandha root, lion's mane, mushroom powder.
We're talking healthy supplements. We're talking
healthy supplements.
Natural supplements, not
absolutely
out the bottles pill supplements.
Right.
Just to be
Western
clear,
medicine supplement. Right.
Okay, the good stuff. Okay. So yeah, was that the only or main reason why you switched out of like the cupcake business and stuff you said you had? Or was there other things before that made you kind of say this is not really for me anymore?
I mean, what it was, and I loved it, don't get me wrong, but it really took a lot of my time. Parties and everything, all that happens on the weekends. And that comes at a sacrifice to me and my family, you know? Right. And I really lost a lot of good years that I could have had with my mom running around doing different events. So, you know, I know the pandemic was very tragic and traumatic for a lot of people. For me, it was a chance to reset, and it was like the perfect opportunity to switch gears. So, you know, events were closed, and I'm like, okay, great. This is the perfect time. And because I still have a 9-to-5, I have a young child, you know, I still have to be somebody's wife, somebody's manager on my 9-to-5. And it was just a lot. So when I started doing that for my mom and no one noticed, I'm like, you know, this is something I could do. This is still me satisfying my need to like share my love for food with other people, but it gives me back some of my time freedom. Okay. So it was just ideal for me, like literally ideal.
So this is when would you say was like what year did you start Kendo?
Legit August of 2020.
Okay. But you had the
Right.
idea
And at
running.
that point, none of us knew that we were going to be going in this thing for,
Yeah,
as long as we
right.
were. So, I was just grateful to be working from home because I did not have the kind of job where they would allow us to work from home. So I was just really grateful for that. And I'm thinking like if we can just hold on through the end of this of 2020,
Right.
I'll be happy with that. So I'm assuming everything's back to normal by, 2021.
And
I'm
then
not somebody who subscribes to Western medicine. So but I felt very clear that I wasn't somebody that was going to be affected physically by COVID. So I wasn't like afraid. I don't watch
right.
the news. I really wasn't like beat down in the head. Like I can't touch anything. I can't breathe. Got to hold my breath while I'm in the store because I've always been taking elderberry, sea moss. Like I've always been doing that. So
Okay.
I'm like, I'm, I already declared like I'm
Right.
untouchable with that. That's not my story. I certainly like ventilator. That's not me. And here we are, and I'm like, all right, 2021, they still talking about this thing. This COVID thing is not going anywhere. So I'm like, okay. I'm talking to my friends and family. They're all like pushing, like you have to get, I'm not even gonna say the word, but you got to get that thing. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, no. They're like, you got to be responsible. I'm like, be responsible. I'm I'm irresponsible because I don't want to
Right.
do that. Like, I don't. Aren't you safe? If you have it, you should be good. Don't worry
Right.
about what I'm doing.
Protect
But
yourself.
I wanted to get the conversation going. Like, people, you have so much more control over your health by what you put in your body. You have so much control over your mental health by what you put in your mouth. Like, we don't recognize that our gut is truly our second mind. And if you think that you could eat junk food all day long and be a fully functioning at peace person, you cannot. You cannot. Just like when you see kids acting a fool, we'll say, and you say, "What did they have for breakfast? Candy?" Yeah, because they don't
Right.
have the other part that says, "All right, let me act like I have some sense," right? But adults are doing the same thing. They're full of rage because all you had was Dunkin' and a donut. Like
Right.
that's not going to work. It's not going to work. So for me, when I switched, I did a raw reset. I did a 3-day water fast, and then I did a raw reset for 30 days, nothing but raw fruits and vegetables. And I'm telling you, by the fourth day, like after I kicked all the withdrawal symptoms, I was like in the market, like running. I'm like, whoa, slow down. Why are
Like,
you
what is
going so
this? I'm
fast?
a
Like
new
my
person.
energy was through the roof. There was like nobody could say anything to you. And so I'm like coming with attitudes and like next, next, next. Everything was bouncing off of me. And I'm like, this is great. Everybody needs to feel this. You got to do it, people. I know that people don't really want to subscribe to this whole veganism thing. Fine. Can we do a meatless Monday? Just see
Right.
what it feels like to not
Give it a
eat food
shot.
that was murdered. I'm telling you, it has such an impact on your attitude, on your feelings, on your stress level, and ultimately your health. So for
I
me, I'm
love
just
it.
like, come on,
I love it. I love the message. I love it. It's a great thing. And I challenge anyone. Hey, take the challenge, like you said. If
take it
you don't
down.
want to
Three
subscribe
three
to it,
days.
do a few days. Just try it. Like,
Mhm.
why not? Why not? Especially if you've been
Yeah.
doing it the other way your whole life, give it a shot. You know?
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, I
So,
grew up not being able to eat beef or pork, so that
okay.
wasn't a real huge transition for me, but I was hanging on to chicken wings, okay? Like I was like, listen, I'd be a vegan in a perfect world, except I love chicken wings. And I'm like, eventually, like, this is really?
Right.
Is this what we're doing? Like, no, you have the control to stop doing whatever you want. And me and mushrooms are like, we like this,
I love me
So
some good
I love
mushrooms.
that.
So,
Okay. Mushrooms, jackfruit. I'm like, you know what? You wouldn't boil a piece of chicken without seasoning and eat it, right? So
right,
we have to like get out of that idea that that's what healthy food tastes like. You have to put some seasoning on it, put some love
right,
in it. That's where
right,
I come in. So cooks at any level, you guys, I have you. I took care of everything for you. I have five, actually six, but I have five main blends that they are the only thing you need. If you know your way around the kitchen, you add a little more, great. But if you don't, I took care of it for you. Just one thing. You don't have to guess. I got you. I took care of you. And then when you let your family know, oh, by the way, there was some ashwagandha in there too.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't die. Then hopefully they will Google it, look it up, educate themselves, and consider adding that to them. A lot of people say to me, well, I don't know. I got to talk to my doctor. I'm like, that's weird because you smoke cigarettes. I don't remember you talking about you had a doctor's appointment where you asked your doctor if that was okay. You
Right.
do shots. You never asked your doctor if Henny was all right.
That is a
Just
great
ate a
point.
double
I'm gonna
cheeseburger with
use
extra
that.
cheese.
I'm
Right.
definitely
So
gonna use
don't give me
that.
that. I gotta check. I gotta see. No.
Definitely. That's an amazing message, and I'm definitely gonna use that. Um,
Yeah.
so you said you have five main blends
We
right
do.
now. Are
Yes.
they all named after like people that are relevant in your life, or how did you names?
No, so just Mary Greens right now. And that's, like I said, my mother's maiden name. Kendo, the company, is named after my dad. Then I have Island Passion, which is one of my favorite profile blends because I love curry and jerk flavors. Now,
Mm,
ashwagandha root, like people take gummies and don't really have an idea of how ashwagandha tastes, but it's actually a very pungent flavor,
mm,
very much like ginseng. So I added that to Island Passion. One, because when you think of the islands, you think of like being relaxed and chilled out. And two, because curry and jerk flavors will mask it, the true
right.
flavor of it. Then I have Farm to Soul, which is completely salt free, and I've added black seed. Now, most people take black seed as an oil. It very much gave me flashbacks of my childhood having to take cod liver oil. And so I wasn't a big fan of taking black
Right.
seed that way.
Right.
So I used to actually make a salad dressing with it because it has like a peppercorn kind of flavor. So that's in the Farms to Soul. Then there's lion's mane mushroom powder. I think at this point, people are starting to understand the benefits of lion's mane. But for those that are not, it's great for brain boost. And that's in the barbecue bomb, which is also salt free. That's
I
sweet
just
and
recently
spicy.
heard of lion's mane, like probably in the past 3 months. It was my first time. And I'm just like, what? I think it was me. It was even my mother and my brother. We were trying something out and we were reading the greens. We seen it. It was like, what is that? So we were like, Google it. So yeah,
Mhm.
I just became privy to that like very recently.
It's the cutest little thing, too. It looks like a little pom pom. It's just the
Yeah.
cutest little thing. Makes perfect crab cakes, by the way, and a steak, too. Like if you press it down, especially with like cast iron,
Hmm.
perfect steak. Perfect. Then I have Ocean's Essence, which is definitely one of the biggest sellers, particularly in the vegan community, because I use that for my faux seafood dishes. Most of the time, when you want to cook something like that, you have to add, besides all your seasonings, you also have to add nori or kelp or something to give it that fishy flavor. I put it all together. So you get that familiar seafood flavor, but you also have sea moss, bladderwrack, and burdock root, in addition to nori, kelp, and dulse. So it already gives it that fishy flavor that you're looking for. So you can go ahead and add that to your chickpeas to make like tuna or hearts of palm for fish or lion's mane for shrimp or whatever. So that's very, very popular blend. Definitely. It was one where because of all the things it has in it, it's probably like the most expensive for me to create. And I was like, I don't know, like I don't know about this. I don't know. I think I might trim down and just have focus on three blends, but it has been like fire. Like I hate to
Yeah.
say like flying off the shelves, but like legit, it's a very, very popular, particularly in my vegan tribe.
So you actually sat at one point and took all these ingredients yourself and tried them.
Mhm.
Like you and your family, I would imagine, were your first demographic, your first test subjects. So you were there
Yes,
testing these things, these blends out in the house before you were like, "Ah, this is the one, this is the one, this is the one."
this is the
Did
one.
you
Yeah.
did you go through a lot of not so great blends at some point?
So yeah, my dad likes to say like I'm tired of being your test dummy. But it would be like literally like people say, like, what do you put in it, right? So it's like I'm going to take the time and figure out the different measurements for each thing, right? Honestly, there was one that I had called Anything Pastable, right? And it's just for pasta that I was like, I'm gonna scrap that because
These names
it
are pretty cool. I have to say though, like it makes me
right.
want to. I'm gonna have to try all of them just because of the names. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sending you a whole pack, don't you worry. But yeah, that was probably one that got scrapped. But other than that, honestly, the only one that really had to tweak a couple times was the barbecue bomb, because initially it was not salt free, and it is now. So I
Okay.
just wanted to give like people different options. Um, but the thing is, me testing it out more on plant-based versus meat was really the biggest, going back and forth from like, how does this, is it too much for this? But I found a place where like, if you wanted more salt, you add that extra. You know what I mean? Like, particularly Island Passion can. It's something where I'm like trying to teach people put the salt on after it's cooked.
Mhm.
Then you can control just how much it is. You'll be surprised that you really don't need it. We're so used to tasting fat, salt, and sugar. We really don't know what stuff tastes like anymore. So yeah, it was a little of that. Like, definitely my dad was like, I'm kind of tired of chickpeas. I'm getting kind of tired. I'm gonna have to say, but they'll get over it.
So
Like, you want
let's
this legacy or not?
we're gonna continue down the legacy. So around 2000, this starts. You start launching. Um, how were you selling in the beginning? How are you selling the product?
So it was literally immediate family. And
Hmm.
I mean like the immediate family that's the diehards, not the immediate family that just says, oh,
Right,
that's what's up. Not
right.
those. We all have those, right?
We all have
Uh,
those.
we all have those.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a little show? Oh,
Uh-huh.
okay. I'm gonna have to watch it sometime.
Yeah, I'll check it
Oh,
out.
you have a product? Oh, I'm gonna have to try that one day. Like,
Yeah.
don't worry. I'm not holding my breath, okay? But it was initially mostly friends. Like I said, very, very close family members, but mostly friends. And I don't know that I had like the sales confidence at that point, really, to be completely vulnerable. Really, this year is where I'm like, wait a minute, like I got the oil. Okay, let me go grab these vessels. Like, people want this, people need this. It's not a hobby. And if you want to keep acting like it's a hobby,
Right.
what's the point? So, most, I want to say 97% are shipped. And I've shipped at this point to London,
Oh.
to Canada, and I'm trying to get all 50 states. I think I have 12 more that I'm trying to hit, to at least say I've shipped to all the states. But it is just me. It's just me. And I literally go to the post office every day. Like I said, I still have my 9 to 5, but each package, I legit am like, I hope this is received the way that I send it, making sure I put intentions on everything I do. And so far, so good,
Yeah,
I'll
I
say.
see it. And I seen like I think you were at a some type of event or something promoting. Like I've seen it, so I'm like, yeah, she's out there, she's working, and you standing
Yes,
behind
I'm in the
your stuff.
streets.
Yeah, you're in the streets, you're standing behind your products, and that's what I
Hmm.
love to see. Like I can't help but to support that because that is what makes the difference. But
Yeah, it's
yeah,
everything
so
for me.
we got that. You selling to family and friends. Now you got online going. Everything's moving. What's next? Where's the next step for you? Where do you see yourself going with this?
Wow, it's funny you should say that. My mentor was just asking me that last week, and I was like, initially, I used to say like I would like to like partner up with McCormick, right? And besides the fact that they have some bad press going on right now, we're not going to talk about that though. But when he asked me that question, I had to say, I see a movement. I really want to get the conversation going about how much power we do have about
Mhm.
what we eat. and how we eat things, how we prepare things. We're at a place right now in the economy that eating out is not more expensive than eating at home sometimes,
Tell me about it.
I mean? Like, wait, is it cheaper to go to Wendy's? I'm not
Yeah.
sure. But when you like using your local farmers markets and things like that, and you really getting creative, it still is cheaper to eat at home. And it still really can be easy. It really can be delicious. And we really can take some control back. They are coming at us hard from every angle,
Right.
from the media, from schools, from what you put in your mouth to what they inject in your body. Like they're really coming at us hard. And it's really important that we understand how much control we have and really stay hyper focused on don't worry about the big picture. No, you can't save the world, but you can save you. You can save your line. And, you know, they sell stuff here in the US that they wouldn't touch in other countries.
Right.
Like it's laughable the
Yeah.
stuff that we're eating and calling it food. So I see it as a movement. I see this as an opportunity to bring in different cooks, bring in different nutritionists, and come together online and in person and really have movements to educate people about what kind of control they have. How can you meal prep without it being this task, this daunting task? Or how can you connect with people who can meal prep for you
Right.
to take one, you save that time, but two, like you'll have an idea of like what's going on and what's going on in your mouth, what's going on in your body. Ultimately, you make better decisions when you eat better.
The education has to be there
Yeah.
with it. Yeah, a lot of people just don't, they have no idea. They don't understand, you know,
No.
just you're raised up a certain way or you're just used to certain things, you're stuck in certain
Mhm.
habits and you don't even know. It's like if you are raised up into a bad habit, how do you process that? So it is a very mental part of it for a lot of
Mhm.
people. Like a lot of people I know who have diet changes, especially now as I'm getting older, it's happening to a lot of people around me. The biggest thing for them is just learning how to break the mold that they're in. Even the ones that are curious, they just don't know what to do. And I'm like, hey, maybe you should look at this, check this out. And I'm learning, they're learning. So I think the education really is a big part of it. The more that is out there, the better it is for everyone. That whatever you decide to do, the more you know, you can make a better choice. And that's I really
Right.
believe in that. So I'm really happy of what you said about the future and
Mhm.
what you plan to do. And it's not just a product for you, it's a life thing, and that's what's gonna
It
separate.
is.
So
It's truly a labor of love. I mean, you have places to come to like the Wrong Agenda podcast. There's so much good. People think that social media is all bad, but there's so much good education that you can. And really, that's my prayer is that I'm always attracted to the people who I'm assigned to. If you don't want to hear what I'm talking about, it's no love lost. I don't take that personal. I'm not assigned to you. I hope that you find somebody that does resonate with you to help you make those changes. But it's not YOLO. It's not like, I've been eating like this all my life. So yeah, it's not really. If you were just gonna drop dead, that's one thing. But when you think about it, it might mean dialysis, it might mean an oxygen tank, it might mean like that part, that whole quality of life. No, I'm good on that. Like I'm a pass.
right.
I'm a pass on that lifestyle. It's not YOLO. It's not you only live once. It's
Right.
not
It's
my
definitely not.
grandmama ate like this, so I'm gonna eat like this because she was eating real food. You're not.
Right. And like you said, it's a bit of the foresight, like not to get too far off of here and talking about Kendo spice, but yeah, you see people don't change their diet until something happens. And
Mhm.
we need to be more proactive and preventative instead of reactive because I think that'll make a big difference. And that's what I'm trying to incorporate into my life and the people around me. I'm trying to be like, let's not wait until someone says, we have to stop doing this or we have to stop
Right.
eating this. Let's work it out now slowly and let's be better. But to each his own for now.
That's what I say. Everybody can't come, right?
Right.
Everybody can't come. Everybody won't come. Everybody don't want to come. So my goal is for the people who aren't sure and want to come, let's go. For those of you who are like, I'm staying over here, you stay over here. Like, I wish you the best of luck. I hope that you are lucky enough to get a scare that turns you around, as opposed to that's it. You
Yeah.
checked out, your time's up. We'll say that anyone, for people who have children or whoever, somebody significant in your life, I would die for them. But like my question is, will you live for them?
Right. Right.
That's it.
All right.
Will you live for them?
That is a message. I had some questions and things. I'm pretty sure I didn't get to all of them because the discussion just took on a great organic life of its own, which is wonderful because whatever I don't ask, I'm pretty sure I'll see you again and we'll do this again. We're not wrapping up yet, but let's see, just some little ones I have. What's your favorite meal? Like give me a four course. What's your favorite? Like what you like to eat?
So I love chickpeas. I mean, like legit love them. Like we could go down the aisle and get married, love them. So typically I will make like a chickpea curry with coconut milk. That's like one of my go-tos. I could legit eat that like regularly. I love island food. If I'm not having that, and if I want to be bad, I would probably fry up either a maitake or oyster mushroom.
Mhm.
And I love to use Vegan Trap Lord has a vegan trap batter. So like I love to like use that and I'll fry it up in like grapeseed oil. So at least I'm choosing a better oil. Maybe even air fry it, but I love that. Definitely love sweet potatoes, both savory and sweet, depending on how I'm feeling. Love me some cabbage. Love,
No,
love, love.
cabbage is
Always
my
hated cabbage when people put meat in it too, by the
favorite.
way. I always hated that smoked meat flavor. So yuck on that.
Yeah,
Definitely want to put your Mary greens on your cabbage.
that's
Um,
gonna be me.
and then
That's me.
I'm a dessert girl. Like I love peach cobbler. I make a mean peach cobbler, pineapple upside down cake,
Oh.
brownies. And nowadays I make brownies with chickpeas actually, and
Really?
it's delicious. Always moist. Yep,
Oh,
delicious. Like I make chocolate pudding with avocados all the time, and
really?
you'll take a overripe avocado, just a little bit of agave or whatever kind of sweetener you like to use, and cocoa powder. Like,
I
and sometimes I
never.
add a little bit of sweetened condensed milk, vegan, of course, oat milk usually, but it's delicious. I just love the idea of veganizing things. I've always been somebody who we go out to eat. I'm like, I'm gonna make this when we get home. My sister used to hate it. Like, you always want to recreate something. Why can't we just go to the restaurant? I'm like, what? I got you. Jack Daniel sauce? I got you.
Yeah, I got a Jack Daniel's sauce. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
All right, so just tell everyone where they can find Kendo Spice, where they can find you, or whatever you want to plug here. Let everyone know. Of course, I'll put it up on
Oh,
the screen
thank you,
and make
thank
it
you.
look pretty, but you can say it out loud here.
Awesome. So it's really easy. It's Can Do Spice on every social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. It's all Can Do Spice, right? KendoSpice. My website is just as easy. Kendospice.shop. Just think of what you're there for. Dot shop. So it's KendoSpice. And I pride myself in the fact that I always ship within 1 to 2 days. That's usually the same day, legit. So I'm your girl. I'm just
So
saying.
head to the shop for all your needs and
Hmm.
grab everything, and it'll be out to you. And I definitely I need everything. I'm trying it. I'm trying everything. I'll be
Oh, you're VIP now, so all you gotta do is
here.
drop your address in, and I got you. I got you
I
covered.
appreciate
I
that.
do have a cookbook that I call "You Can Do It" because a lot
Okay.
of people like to call it kendo, and I'm like, it's not martial arts here. It's can do.
Can do.
So
Can do.
I named the cookbook "You Can Do It." So hopefully they
Mhm.
get that. Actually I'm also international author. I actually took part in an anthology where myself and 8 other women discussed and let the world see our vulnerability and talked about our struggles from tragedy to triumph. So I'm
Oh,
really
okay.
proud of that as well.
The 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 books are on the website also, or where do we find that?
The cookbook is on my website.
Okay,
My anthology book is not on the website anymore just because I just kind of separating that.
I
But
get it.
you can always email me or contact me and I could, get you a copy of that. It's also on Amazon. It's called Empowering You. It's Your Time.
Okay.
And for me, my story was about what I went through as a caregiver with dealing with my mother with dementia, and just the vulnerable side of it. And, I used to think that when you hear a story that like a mother killed their kids, and I would think that she must be a monster.
Hmm.
But dealing with caregiving, I understand. I'm grateful that I didn't have the capacity to act on some of the thoughts that I had, but I
Right.
understand now. I understand how people can just, break and do
Hmm.
that. So it was, for me, it was a place where I'm like, oh my God, it was freeing. And I wrote my story and I'm like, great, whew, I feel so good. And then it was, wait a minute, people are going to read this.
Hmm.
And it was like, I had to realize that that shame that I was feeling was something that I was putting on myself because I went through that
Right.
so that I could share it, so that I could free somebody else. They understand, like, you're not alone. I've been there. I felt that too.
All right. That's great stuff. And I encourage everybody to check everything out. We'll definitely keep in contact. I feel like I made a friend here, hopefully. So we'll
You
definitely.
feel like it. You did. We're cousins.
All right, that sounds great. Yeah, so we got everything. We'll put up all your social medias. I just want to say to you, Kendo Spice, wonderful. Can't wait to taste it. I'm happy and I commend you on everything that you're doing, from which the product to the message, everything. And I think it's something great for the world. And I appreciate you. And I just want to celebrate you and say thank you for doing it. And thank
Oh,
you for
well,
talking
thank
with
you.
me
I am
today.
so honored. So honored to be your guest. Listen, whoever I can help, if for your audience out there, if you just need to say, listen, I don't even know how to get started, reach out, DM me. I answer all my DMs. I'll take this ride with you because I've been there. I know what it's like. So I'm so
All right.
grateful.
Thank you. And this is Just Deal with the Wrong Agenda podcast. Can do Spice and Shani. That's it. We're out.
That's it.